Hello, we are recording this on November 15th, and this is episode 8 of August 1823 Stitchers. That's Sally.
That's Angie.
And this is Jack. And we're going to start with a little Jack story because it's very interesting. I don't think too many dogs get spayed and neutered at the same time, which is what happened to Jack on Friday when he went in to be neutered. And one of his testicles had slipped up inside of him, so they had to spay him too. So when I got there to pick him up, I had to pay for one more operation than I planned on. So instead of over $200, it was over $300, almost $400.
Yes, it was.
So, but he's worth it. He's a good doggy.
You won't ever have to do that again.
And yeah. Yeah, this whole thing started with Jack. He was supposed to be already fixed. His records came to me. He was already fixed, but when he was examined by the vet, surprise, he was not fixed. So, anyway, it's been an interesting journey with Jack, and he is worth it though. He's a good boy, and so I just thought I'd share that because I don't know too many people who have dogs who've been both spayed and neutered at the same time. Today we're going to go over Sally's previous finish, do several FFOs, no FOs, a few whips, some stash investment, some needles up, some plans, and that's our usual table of contents.
Yes. We just wanted to let you know what we're going to cover, so...
We're going to start with putting Jack down so we can do our showings.
Yes.
And I'm going to let Sally start because she has more than me.
Okay, well, a previous finish, I happen to be in the room where my printer is. I have two laptops, but one's connected to the printer. And I happen to be looking, and I found this. I actually stitched this back when we were on shutdown during COVID, and it's the closest to a rainbow row that I've ever stitched. And it's on a little Altoid tin. And yes, I made the twisted cord, and I used the little drill, that Kreinik drill, but to make it long enough, sometimes I have to attach one end to my toe and then hold the drill way up in the air. Okay.
As I stated in the first Flosstube, we're multi-craftual. One of the things I like to do is make cards. And I have quite the stash investment to show you, regarding that. The first Christmas cards I wanted to show you relate to the birth of Jesus Christ himself, which is what Christmas is all about. And this one was made with glitter paper for the little center stars inside. And this looks like gold print, but it's actually saddle brown. And then the other card we did with that was, this one was made by stamping the saying in Versamark and then using a heat embosser, a little dryer, until it glows like this. And it's on gold leaf paper, which is really pretty.
Well, 2 weeks ago, I showed that I had finished my August stitchy house. But then I realized I had not done the back stitching around the quilt. Well, now it is fully finished. And I attached it to sticky board. I put some polka dot fabric on the back. I made a loop, put a bow, and then I just tore some strips and just twisted them and pinned them around the edge.
So I'm from West Virginia, and I like to do a lot of rural type cards. And so I like doing deer. And here's one set that was made standing up instead of the usual, well, yes, this one was made standing up. This part of the card was cut off, and then this card was glued on top of it and makes it look a little fancier. Inside we always put a Bible verse and a greeting. And the other one I made with this set is standing this way, and it has the same Bible verse and greeting inside. And what's really a miracle in this one is I didn't mess up the way the greeting goes, because sometimes when I send these cards, I have it like this, but inside you have to turn it to read it because I've put the greeting in the wrong way. But I didn't do that this time. And what's special about this set too is they had a cute little deer that I used to put on the envelope to match it as well. So that's my second set of cards.
Well, since I've retired, I pamper myself, and myself, and so I go get a manicure and occasionally a pedicure. Well, the lady that does that collects frogs, and so I stitched the Quirky Quaker, and this is from Darling and Whimsy Designs. I've shown it on a previous Flosstube when it was finished, but now it's fully finished. I put it on 4-inch wooden disc that I got from Amazon, and then I backed it with some polka dotted fabric that I borrowed from Angie's stash, since she gave me a bunch of stuff to use to finish some of her stuff, and I just borrowed it. She won't be getting this piece back, but, and I put a 2023 charm, and again, twisted cord. I reminded my nail tech, I said, if she wants to be surprised at Christmas, don't watch this week's video, and she's freaking out because she's like, she's tempted to watch.
Again, using deer, but these are just using a little deer. You use the Stampin' jig to stamp the trees. And this is a red die cut that has the fancy berries and leaves on it. And again, the envelope has a little deer on it. And then also did the little deer on a lighter version of trees. So as you can see, the difference. It's the same set of trees. It's just this one was stamped first, and this one was stamped with the same step without inking it, and so this was next. And then we just put the deer on, and we did a red bow, and they had a little stamp to put that little black inside of it. And again, they have the Bible verse and the greeting as well.
And the next fully finished object I have is Decaf Y. It's got a little button that I ordered from Amazon years ago, and then it came brown. I painted it with some white chalk paint and decided that the handle needed a little more something. I guess I wanted to show off the fabric a little bit better, so I stitched that. I tore a strip and then just wrapped it around the handle, and then I auditioned that little bow. It's just a little rag knot basically for a while, and then I glued it down. And the pattern is from Aury TM, which I've mentioned before, and the backer is from Lily Rose Designs. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's her information.
Okay, I don't have any more.
Oh, well, the last little bit that I have, and I'm not gonna, well, I guess I will. I have a dozen ornaments. They were the So Jolly ornaments that I stitched. I've given credit to the person who designed them in the previous Flosstube, and we'll put it in the description box below. But I also used the circles and the tart tins, and this one's nice and crooked, from Fat Quarter Shop. But there's the sewing machine. I'm still learning how to finish, and this is so outside my comfort zone. This one says sew, and it's got thread, and they're all on cake stands, which I really liked. Here's the rotary cutter and the ruler with the tomato. Here's the Fat Quarter bundle. The jar of buttons. And they made these jars into pin cushions, which is a cool thing. Scissors. The iron, because even in cross stitch we need to be able to press. The bobbins. A button bowl. And a tomato. And these were done using DMC and 14 count fabric, Ada fabric. Oh, and I think I forgot the quilt stack. There we go. So those are all my fully finishes. All right, so as Angie stated earlier, we don't have any, I mean, we had those FFOs, but we don't have any fully finished objects because we turned them into a full, fully finished.
We don't have
any finished objects. Excuse me, I can't speak today. So we're gonna go on to our whips. And the first one I have, and I don't think my yoga instructor watches the video, but anyway, Angie sent me this picture of the avocado yoga. And this is Slavina, handmade. And she was on Etsy. Anastasia Slavina. And I've started it. I hadn't gotten very far because I've only stitched on it one day. But there's, oops. Here is where I am. I'm hoping to have, well, I'm not hoping. I plan to have that finished for Christmas. All right, do I need to take over, Jack? Can you handle it?
I guess so.
Come on, Jack.
He's wanting to be held today for
We're
some
playing
reason.
past the puppy today, or past the baby. Yes.
The first whip I have is Super Mario, which really is my favorite one. It's my go-to when I just want to stitch that one more than any other thing. Anyway, it's on Blueberry 14 count fiber on a whim. The needle miters from Black Needle Society, and
Does it really say Flock Star Pigeon?
it says Flock Star Pigeon.
No, it says Flock Star Stitcher.
Flock Star Stitcher, sorry, Flock Star Stitcher.
Do you need the board?
Now, as I stated last time, I thought that I was just gonna make it work and not do this extra section of the wall, but I can't stand it. So I worked all the wall over to here and left one section to copy for this last section, and frogged that tunnel that had already been, all the outline of this one was just like it, and I just had the outline down to flower and everything. And it's all been frogged. Sally helped me with that, thank God. And I think that I'm actually negative stitches as far as progress made, because I think I frogged more stitches than I stitched, but it's still progress, so I wanted to show it.
Progress is progress. All right. You're gonna take the baby back. You got it?
Yep, it's coming.
All right. So besides working on the avocado yoga, I have been working on Rosewood Manor's Paisley Pumpkin. And give me a minute to set it up. I'm using the called for DMCs and the called for color of fabric, but I like Lugana better than I do linen. I mean, I stitch on linen, but I prefer Lugana. It's just a little more even. But as you can see from the last time, if you compared it to last time, I finished up all the top letters, and I changed the color of the S, the B, and the F to reflect my initials, but I also have those confetti stitches completed up there. It's one color here and a different color here, and that was interesting. I finished the outline, and as you can see, the border met, and I've worked a lot over here. In fact, I was working down here this morning before I went to do my dog walking gig. Really liking it. I like the colors. Some of those colors are very close to each other because it's like 813, 814, 815, 816, but it just blends so really nice, really pretty. And this is on it's a picture of this plush fabric, and it is, I always forget, Heritage. It's got a little bit of a green tint to it. It's really pretty.
Mine, my only other whip is the Autumn Bell Pool, which I thought I'd get this thing done in 6 to 8 weeks, because I thought 2 weeks per letter. Not happening. I'm already past 2 weeks and I haven't finished the A. It's very intense as far as colors. There's 7 different greens and a bunch of different browns, and they stitched 2 here and 4 there and 1 way over here by itself, and it's kind of crazy. So anyway, it's going to be beautiful when it's done though. And so this is where I am.
Oh, here, let me assist.
The grime guards are from Maggie's Minders. It's Forest Friends material, which I thought went very well with the colors being used in it. As you can see, I've worked several different greens. I think I've only on green number 4. I got 3 more greens to try to work in there before I can move on to other colors. But it's coming along. I think the pumpkin's looking really pretty, and it's going to be gorgeous when it's done. Just when is it ever going to get done? Sometimes I wonder.
Yeah, one stitch at a time.
Yep.
So, as we stated earlier, our next phase is our stash investment. And Angie and I have some similar things.
Yes. First, from PNB Making Memories. PNB, Pam, N as in Nancy, Bob, Making Memories. I have them as my favorite shop on Etsy, so whenever they have something new, it pops up. And this came up one day, and I share it with my whole chapter. I was so stoked by it. It says, you can't stitch and be crabby. I think it's adorable.
It is.
And Sally also got one.
Yes, I did. Well, I did the ordering for us because, you know, is what add to cart. And I also got the corner gauge that has the same statement.
And I've shown West Virginia before, but I realized that I got everybody else to West Virginia but me. So I ordered another one.
And then I ordered the one with the coffee cup because, well, my blood type is coffee.
And my last one from them is the lighthouse. It says, let your light shine.
And I got a thread holder that's it's got the verse Philippians 4:6-7. And this is for like Mill Hill kits, small amounts, so you just need a little bit of space. Okay.
So, watching Tiger Lily, and she was talking about these project cards that you can attach to the zipper of your project bags. And she talked about the luggage tags that you could order. So I started with the luggage tags, and I hope I got the right size.
I think you did.
But if I did, then I'm going to order the cards from Tiger Lily next and attach them to all my projects.
And then Angie and I have a super secret
Double Agent Spy project
that we're going to do. And so we needed some 1.5 inch button bases, and it's very reflective. Sorry about that. But anyway, we ordered those from Amazon, and we'll be making those for a while. Anything else? Yeah, I thought you had.
Speaking of the Double Agent Spy project, this is the fabric we're going to be using, which is Freeze by Rogue. And I got that from Barefoot Needlearts. Where's my blue fabric?
Can you find your little extender? Otherwise, I'll pick that one up.
I can't find my blue
Your blue fabric?
or my extender. There's my blue fabric.
Okay. I'll get one of your extenders.
I got a yard of corn blue fabric, 14, I believe it's 14 count Ada. And now I can wash it so that it won't be quite so stiff.
And I was on Facebook, which, you know, oh well, someone posted this picture. And I immediately went to the Etsy shop, which you can't see that. Hang on. Let's try that. There we go. And hit buy now. I didn't even go looking for anything else. That's all I wanted. And it is the Coffee Drinks Christmas tree. They all look like Starbucks.
And then I got a fat quarter of Oxygen Ada. I like blue for my neutrals instead of brown for my neutrals, so I always try to keep blue on hand. And the last thing I got from Stitchen Kitten, which I can't find to show you right now because it's...
I laid it there for you.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Because Super Mario is going to be wider, I needed a 3-inch extenders. I needed 2 3/8-inch extenders so I won't be moving the Q-snaps all the time from side to side. And that's the last of my stash investments.
That's all my stash investments. So the next part is our needles up. And then we'll get you your card. Of course, I have the purple thread, and you have your own thread.
And mine's laying at the bottom of the basket.
Yeah, okay. Well,
So,
we'll just
use
here we
yours.
go. Needle,
Make it up, go up.
Needles
yes.
up. Okay.
Okay, so the first category we discussed a little bit was 2 or more stitchers, and I chose the pink stitchers. Sometimes they're a little more cruder than I can handle, but overall they're funny, and I like the family dynamic, and they're trying different crafts, so they're interesting to watch.
I chose the Sable Stitchers. Sable means stash acquired beyond life expectancy, and it's 2 friends, and they stitch some really neat stuff.
The Americana or American stitcher, I chose Rogue Mama. She does everything from soda stitches to mirabilias to, I think she might even be doing full coverage.
I think so.
She does everything, and she's gotten, I think she's responsible for soda stitching becoming so popular.
I have several soda stitch patterns.
Me too, and I haven't stitched one yet.
I've stitched one.
Not me. I haven't even stitched it. That's one thing on my list for next year.
Yeah, there you go. The August Peridot Gnome is the one I stitched. I hadn't fully finished it, but I have finished it.
And you bought another one, didn't you?
Oh, I bought several.
Yeah.
I bought several when I bought that one, but I bought
right.
some. She had a sale.
Last Flosstube, you mentioned that the gnome sale that they had. You bought another one.
I bought several. And I picked Zan the Crazy Band Lady stitches. I went to her Flosstube through Memphis Sarah E. Those 2 traveled together when they go on some retreats. But Zan reminds me of me all over the place. Squirrel.
Yeah. I have a hard time watching her sometimes because I'm too OCD to handle it. And I have to back out of it and go watch someone else and then come watch 15 more minutes of it. So, the foreign stitcher, I chose Lost in Stitches. I was so excited she came back. I had been sending her emails and making comments on her last video like, where are you? I love you. What are you doing? And she did fish and chips,
She's working
blue
on,
on white.
Yes.
And she did the Wonder Whale, which is why I'm doing the Wonder Whale now. Okay. Her spirit is what gets me, you know, because, you know, she's fighting. They found another spot of cancer, and she's fighting it again. She's gone through so much. This is the second time she's gotten it. You know, she had it like 8 years ago or something, and now she's gotten it again. And every time they say, oh, we got it under control, then they don't. I got it under control, then they don't. She just had surgery removing a part of her liver. Got it under control, found another spot. Right. And yet she's still smiling. And, you know, it was okay. She said she apologized for taking a little break, but I would have taken a bigger break than that. I'm not sure I'd ever come back. So I was excited to see her come back.
Right. You've got some that I didn't.
But you did foreign.
I know I did foreign, but your next one on the stack is Animal Co-Star.
Well, but you didn't say your foreign one yet.
No. Oh, sorry. See, there you go, squirrel. My foreign person I like to watch is Lynn, the Lancashire Stitcher. She used to be a substitute teacher, and now then she was working at the library. But she opened up her own little business for finishing things for people. I don't plan to do that because that's way too much pressure on myself. I'm of the, Angie's the OCD one. I'm of the galloping horse theory. If you stick it on a galloping horse and it rides by and you don't see the mistake, I don't rip it out. But I like, she stitches all kinds of stuff. And it's some of the stuff that I stitch also. And I've won a prize from her too. I've kitted up, but I haven't started it yet. It's on next year's list.
I had an animal co-star, and Sally does not.
Mm-mm.
I chose Jack from Zook Stitches. Jack is 17-year-old black cat, and he was having conniption fits in her floss tube before last. She does it every week, so she's had several that she's done since our last one. We only do it every other week, every 2 weeks.
I like our every 2 weeks schedule.
So twice a month, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so she has a few between ours. And one day Jack was just going nuts. And I thought he was the star of the show, frankly.
All right, what's next? You have networking?
For networking, I chose Beth the Steadfast Stitcher.
Mm-hmm.
She does Facebook, Zoom, crafting books, Facebook, and book club. What do you call it?
It's a Zoom. Did she do a Zoom with the book?
Yeah, but where you choose a book, like a book club.
Oh, okay.
You know, she organizes all that, and she's just amazing. And she does a lot of stuff with Stitching by the Shore, Laura.
Yes, she does.
So.
Yeah, I like watching her.
Yeah.
We need to do one of her Zooms sometime.
She did 60 starts for turning 60 this year. I did 6 starts, and I'm overwhelmed. But she's actually going to get 60. She thinks she's going to get it, so.
Well, I mean, there's 52 weeks in a year. You just have to double up a couple of those weeks for a new start, and then she's got plenty to work on next year.
And she's not choosing small starts either,
No.
folks. Some of those are mighty big.
Yes, she does full coverages too.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, with my networking, I did Artist Designs, Amanda May. I started watching her during the COVID shutdown also. She's in Maryland, and she homeschools her children. She has the most adorable pugs, Loki, Apple, and, oh, snap, I can't remember the other one. Luna Moon, that's it. One's a black pug, and one's a tan with darker color on her. But she has some quirky designs, but she's the one that got me started with Save the Stitches. When I go to the Goodwill shop, I always look in the frames to see what kind of cross stitches there, because you can get it for like $2 or $3. I got several precious moments done that way.
I surprised Sally with a good humor one this morning, because this morning I watched Jen the Caffeinated Stitcher. She cracks me up. She's done, she set 139 goals at the beginning of the year.
She's done a lot of them.
Some of them, many of them were full coverages, and some of them were just to get 1% more that year, which was still like
10,000 stitches
yeah,
on some of them.
Terrible. I mean, and she's not going to meet the goal, because it's, you know, she realized she made some of the goals too hard to get to. But she's instead of changing the goals, she's just going to make herself try, you know, and I admire that in her, but she makes me laugh sometimes at some of the stuff.
Yes, she does have some dry humor.
Yes, she's from Florida, and that may be part of it.
Well, and doesn't like to stitch palm trees.
Right, that's very interesting. So, anyway, I chose her for good humor, and I also chose educational. I like Teacher with the Laughing Face.
I have seen that. I think I saw her whip parade.
She's kind of a librarian that's also a teacher, but what I like about her is she takes her stitching into her classroom. She chooses, like, I can't remember what the theme was now. It's all of a sudden just gone out of my head. But she filled her classroom with so much cross-stitch pieces that were based on that theme, and the students could go up and touch them and see them, and, you know.
Well, you did that too.
Yes, I did. But there are very few teachers do that. Most of them keep it at home and wouldn't dare let, you know, a student touch their stuff. But I like them to see that, and I also was able, because of that, students became interested in craft club that I had afterwards, you know, and they learned how to do some of the stuff, and she's doing the same thing. She has a craft club. She teaches the kids how to do that as well.
I'm going on a yoga
like
retreat
her.
in February, and the one that's in charge of it has asked if I do some kind of cross stitch. So I've been thinking about it.
Well, that's the end of our Needles Up section of the show.
Yes. So now we're going on to plans. Well, I'm going to continue with Paisley Pumpkin.
And I'm going to continue with Super Mario.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to start the coffee one.
And I'm going to continue with the Belle Pool, Autumn Belle Pool.
And then I'm going to start this Hints of Chemistry. It's a black work from Peppermint Purple. But I'm changing that bright yellow beaker to a pretty purple beaker. I'll incorporate the yellow somewhere else in the pattern.
And then in my peacock, I want to finish those spots that are not done in there, and maybe go to page 2 of the pattern and try to outline some of the feathers again.
Well, before we sign off, I'd like to thank all of our returning subscribers and viewers, and welcome. I know we're at the end of the video and we're welcoming people who just joined us, but anyway, if you just joined us, we appreciate you watching. And if you feel so inclined, hit that like button, subscribe button,
and for those of you who don't know, again, if you're doing a smart TV, you can press up twice on your remote control and a menu will come up along the bottom of the screen, and you click the right button until you get over to the thumbs up and the thumbs down, and hopefully you'll hit the thumbs up for us. That's the like button. But if you click on our picture that we have, there's a little picture at the one of the very first part of the menu there. You can choose subscribe.
Yes, and hit the bell to get any notifications of when we upload a video. We currently are going about every 2 weeks. Now, if it happens, well, every 2 weeks or twice a month. Depends on what the month is doing. So far, it's been working out to be just every 2 weeks.
Yes, so we will see you in about 2 weeks, the end of the month. And after Thanksgiving, we wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving. We also want to thank our veterans who have served, and their families who have served with them. And I want to recognize my nephew Jack, who is in the military, and I'm proud of him for doing it. And my father, who served in the Air Force during Vietnam, who has passed away, but I still live by his teachings. Probably why I'm OCD. So with that said, I think that it's time to sign off. So that's Sally Folk, and that's why we say, that's all, folk.
Bye.